Hi everyone, I am Christine Justy of Mail Something Pretty, and I'll give you guys a few seconds or so to get on live to make sure that my sound is working. Last week was good, the week before was not so good, so let me know if my sound is working. Hello to all of you who are watching on the replay, and sorry for all kind of like the little logistics at the beginning, but I just want to make sure that everything is working and that it's streaming and then it's recording and it's all working. So just give it a few seconds. I'm Christine Josty, and like I said, I'm from Mail Something Pretty, and I show people how to make cards using Stampin' Up! Products. So rubber stamps, inks, papers, embellishments, fold techniques, cutting techniques, all that kind of stuff. That's what I do. And I do that through different ways. I do it through my weekly lives, which are pretty close every Tuesday at, this is 2 p.m. Eastern time. And sorry, I'm just making sure. So we get people saying they can hear me, so that's awesome. I do lives, and I do Facebook Facebook posts. I do blogs on my website, mailsomethingpretty.com, and emails. Emails is actually, I think, the most important thing as how I communicate with you. So if you're not on my mailing list, please visit my website, mailsomethingpretty.com, and sign up. All right, so we have Mary Lou's here, Karen's here, Nancy's here, Kim's here, and you can hear me, so that's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so let's see. I'll tell a few things that are happening this week with Stampin' Up, and then we'll get into the project, and I might repeat it at the end for those who come on late. So you guys probably already know this, the four of you that are watching. We have, oh, this is what I was playing with. Look at, I can do this. We have free shipping until tomorrow. So any orders over $75 earns you free shipping. If your order goes over $150, you still get the free shipping. Oh, I jumped ahead of myself. I didn't know if I could do the two things at once. If it's under $150, you can use host code W6UWU2 W. W6UWUTU2. But if it's over 150, don't use that, and then use your own hostess rewards or Stampin' rewards. All right, put that back. I didn't know if I could have those two banners on at once, but I guess not. So that's happening until tomorrow, and that's in celebration of World Card Making Day, which was this past Saturday. And so if you have not watched the Stampin' Up! Did a virtual event, if you want to watch it, you just visit the Stampin' Up! Website. The link is still there. Whether you registered for it or not, you can still watch it. So that should still be there. All right, let me just make sure. All right, we got Debbie's here. Mary Lou, I'm so tech savvy. Oh, you betcha. Bonita's here. Excellent. We have a good crew today. All right. So the other thing, and actually I'm going to go to my screen for this. Hold on. Let me move this. This is my tech savvy. I'll get this in position before I switch over. I try not to have it because then I have that light there. There we go. This I prepared for last week, so I'm just going to reuse it. The other thing that's happening, this is for the entire month of October. If you want to join Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator or a hobbyist or a business stamper, it's their 35th anniversary, so they're offering kind of incentives involving 35. So you can save on the starter kit, save 35%. So you would pay $64.35 instead of $99, and you would choose $125 worth of products plus. You get tons. You get a paper pumpkin kit, just one, but just to try it out. You get Cadillacs to share with your family and friends. Registration to Stampin' Up. Uh-oh, what happened there? Sorry. You get free registration to the Stampin' Up event, which I paid $77 to go to, which is well worth it, but that's another incentive. Or if you want more products rather than saving, you pay $99, which is the standard price of their starter or their joining kit, and you get to choose $168.75 of products plus all that other stuff. So that is happening, and then you can visit my website /join, and there's all that information and more. All right. So I was looking around trying to get ideas of, and it's fall, even though I have shorts on today, and I really shouldn't because I'm cold, but I'm just resistant. I actually shared it on my website. So just go to, not my website, on my Facebook page, just scroll back. I shared it no earlier than last week. Someone made similar but different card using, she used, actually I can show you what she used. She used these leaves right here. And I didn't have those leaves, so I looked what I had, and I had aspen leaves. And so I'm going to show you what she did. Hers are different colors and a little different, but the same, you know what I mean? So you can look at hers, look at mine, and then kind of come up with your own. So just so you know what she used, because this is a beautiful suite, and this is the stamp set. It's called Autumn Leaves. It is beautiful, but I didn't know how much I would need leaves, but I really like I really like it. I like this little cutout that they have, and it's hard to see the dies on there, the shapes, but you can see there's some leaves and some labels. It's a really good set. And it was actually designed by someone who was $1 million sales earner, which is kind of cool that you can design your own stuff. All right, so this is what we're going to make. This was actually the first one I made. And then when I cut out, it was a little small, but then I liked what was left over, the negative space. So I just kind of, I'll show you as we go along, but I offset it. So this is a little artsy version, but I kind of like it. And then this is the version that I'm going to make today. And I will tell you a little bit more about that ribbon as we go along. All right. Oh, Debbie. Well, good luck with everything with Greg. And I'm glad I can entertain you. I'll do my best to make you laugh. How's that? I probably shouldn't be so hard because I always make mistakes and everything. But I'm glad I can entertain you. All right. So what I did, I kind of said that I'm going to show you how to make using dies. So I'm going to use, this is what, oh, hold on, let me backtrack a little bit. This is what we did last week. And if you haven't seen these cards, just scroll back again on my Facebook page and you can click the video to see. These are the cards I did in the live last week. That one opens up, and this one's just a little window, and this one opens up like that. But these are the dies I use. So I'm actually using the same dies, but, well, the same set, not really the same dies, in a completely different way. And I like that because I like showing versatility. All right. So what I did was, so these are my 2 aspen leaves. And I cut out, actually I did this one. I cut out 2 aspen leaves, right? Just on a piece of paper, just basic white. And I use that as my stencil. So we're going to start with there, and then I'm going to show you something really cool. All right, so I'm starting fresh with a new stencil because when I'm going to use the blender brushes, sometimes when you even do this, so you can kind of see, this one was, so I have 3 colors. I am using Daffodil Delight, Poppy Parade, and Granny Apple Green. And so when you mix a red and a green together, you get brown. So you can kind of see how it's brown. So when I'm blending my brushes over this stencil, it is actually picking up some of the color here and bringing it in. So I didn't want to reuse this one, so I'm just doing a new one. Okay, so look at, I already smudged before I even opened up anything. I'm going to use this side of the paper. So this is bigger than I need it. So this is 5.5 by 4.25. So it's a 1/4 sheet of paper. And I'm just reusing my scrap paper, which is actually no calendar. So when you change your calendar, save your pieces for scrap paper. All right, Carolyn Jordis, hello. Awesome, we got a great crowd. We got 10 people watching. Very excited about that. Okay, so these, like I said, my colors. So I Poppy Parade, Daffodil Delight, and Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to start with, actually, I'll open them all up. my blending brushes. So these two were clean. This wasn't really used a blue, but I just kind of rubbed it out until there's no color. And then I started using it as green, and I'll wash them again. So just know that you can kind of reuse them before you wash them. So I'm going to start kind of in the corner. So here's my template. I'm going to go straight on the white here. I'm going to put some of my yellow. Yeah, you can see that. Put some yellow. And I'm actually going to, you can either start off on your scrap or even off on this little stencil. And just hold it in place. I could use, I could use washi tape or repositional tape to hold it in place, but I didn't because I'm going to be moving it around a lot. But luckily, you can kind of see where the outline is. If it moves, you can just move it back. All right, so I Googled aspen leaves, like the color aspen leaves change. I've actually only seen them green. I've never seen them color. And so what Google told me was they get yellow and a kind of a pretty reddy orange, and some of them still have a little green in them. They're beautiful. So you can make your leaves any color, but I was trying to keep it like the fall colors. Now, if I had maple leaves, I'd do them a little bit differently, but I didn't have the cutout. So there we go. So there's a pretty stenciled aspen leaf. So now I'm going to use my small one. And this one, I'm going to actually kind of keep to the color scheme that I was doing. So this one's going to be more yellow and green. My brother used to live in Colorado, and we did go out there, and we saw them, and I love how like they kind of like shimmer, they blow in the wind. They're just really pretty. All right, so I'm going to put a little green, a little bit more. Our leaves are like changing, but not as much as I thought they would. All right, so then I have those two. So I'm just going to keep going. So let's see. I don't want them. There we go. I'm going to do a little off paper, and we're going to end up cutting this. So we're not, this is a bigger piece than we need. Yeah, Nancy, I know you have aspen leaves. Nancy's saying they're beautiful. They're golden to reddish. I bet they're gorgeous. The leaves have started changing here. Actually, they really popped the other day, but there's still more to go, but they're not as vibrant yet. So you can let me know, Nancy, if I'm kind of doing the right colors. All right, then I'm going to do, I have a little green there, so I'm going to kind of incorporate that. I'm actually just making one card today, but to show you, so, because I know this takes a little bit longer with this coloring. But just imagine, like, if you have other dies, you can make temple. Oh, I actually didn't need to put that color. You can make stencils of lots of dies, and it's cool when they have all these jagged edges because you really can see it. So I could have made my stencil a little bit bigger. I think it's big enough, but I just noticed, you're not going to notice, I have a little color there because I have it. So you may, if you want that border to be a little bit bigger, I think it's okay. I'll go a little here. I probably should have made my stencil a little bit bigger. Put that right back. It is pretty easy to line up. Well, this one I'm actually going to put a little green in there. And then a little red. Oop, that was a little more red than I wanted. Okay. And then this is the hard part, kind of deciding where they go. Yeah, Mary Lou, we did. I thought because we had so much rain, I was thinking, you know, non-scientifically, that the colors would be really, really vibrant because they had so much water. But I guess what they were saying is they need kind of a hut, and then the cold nights and sunlight, I guess, is a big part of what makes the leaves change, and that we have not had. I also learned, I took a tour of Arnold Arboretum last week. If anyone lives in the area, Boston area, I suggest going and having a tour, because otherwise you're just looking at trees, not knowing anything. But it was really interesting in how many different trees they have and how the land was donated, and it was really cool. But I learned that when the leaves turn yellow, it's just the chlorophyll like leaving. But when they turn orange or red, that the trees are actually boosting a shot of, I'm not going to say hormones, but like a burst of energy or a little something to make them turn that color, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that. All right, so there we go. So there's my stencil. I think that's very pretty, minus the little smudges I have, but we won't even notice that. But we can actually do something really cool to it. I'm hoping I'm gonna really like blow your mind here. And it's not my idea. So these are the dies, right? And do you see on the dies how it has the veining? And that's what we're going to use as the stamp. So again, a lot of the leaves have this. And when you, oh, I didn't bring one that was cut out. It, makes an impression when you cut it out. But we're also going to use this stamp. So watch, I'm going to use this magnet to hold it to stamp. So you need a foam mat or something spongy. I tried it just on the surface of the desk, and it's not enough because this is so like subtle on here. You really need to kind of press. So I'm pressing my, you can kind of see I got ink on there, and I'm going to put it right on top, and you can kind of see, and if I'm not perfectly alignment, that's fine with me. So I'm pressing it in. You can even press it with your fingers if you want. You could even take the magnet off if you wanted to press it in, and then put the magnet back on. Look at that. So now I have a little outline around my leaf plus the veining. Isn't that awesome? All right, let's do it again. And you could change up the veining color. I'm going to do these ones, the poppy, since it has more poppy and yellow in it. And I'm okay that I didn't get it all, because leaves are funny, right? Sometimes they crack and they're different colors. And oh, look at ink. Inky fingers. I'm glad you like. I thought it was cool. All right, so I'm gonna put that one aside. And so what I'm gonna wash it first. I tried it in my Stampin' Scrub, and that didn't do such a good job. But the chamois does a really good job of just kind of, because I can really get in there and get all the ink off of it. So now it's clean. All right. These leaves are from the Aspen, the ones I used last week, Aspen tree dies. All right, so my little one, I'm going to use with a green ink, just to give a little difference, because this has more green and yellow in it. So this one, it's a little small. I have to see what the stem is. But pushing it in with this foam mat really helps. Okay, and again, it's really pretty. Oh, I missed that one. It's really pretty without, but then when you add a little of that detailed in, it really just elevates it up. So I challenge you to look at your dies and see what has that texture on them. I have to go back and do that red one. Okay, Karen wants these dies now. And I don't have the stamp set that goes with it. I showed it last week. It has a bird. And it's pretty. I just don't have it. I just really like the aspen trees part of it. But again, those ones that I showed you in the new catalog, the holiday catalog with the maples, they're really pretty. But you might have aspen trees near you, Karen. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I will just, you know how you like don't shoot the messenger? I will be the messenger in this tip, but it was not my idea. But go back and look on my Facebook page too, and you'll see it's an artisan, and she did it with like a picture tutorial. And at first I didn't understand because her magnet looks different. And then I saw, like, I thought it was brilliant myself. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside. I can reuse that again. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. I'll need my machine. So what I'm going to do is now take my my deckled rectangles. So I'm going to take the biggest one. The one I showed you before, I'll show you again. I done the one smaller, but this one I'm going to do the biggest one. So I can align it up straight on, or if I want to kind of get more color on one angle, you can kind of tilt it. So I think as long as it's within the border of my paper, I'm going to tilt it so it's going to look like that. I lost. There it is. All right. So this is kind of where I got that idea for this first one I did. I used the size smaller on this one. Let me actually do this so we can actually see it against it. So when I was putting it together, I kind of liked how that had a little bit of the leaf. So then I kind of offset it because you kind of have the leaf still line up but a little bit off. And so that's how I came up with this one. And you could put another color behind it, but I don't know. I just kind of thought it was fun. But for this card that we're making, I'm just using that. And if you look closely, you can see a little bit of my colors, but I don't think it really matters for this card. All right, so I'm going to use a Poppy Parade base, and I cut it the long way. So I cut it at 4.5, and then 4.25, and then I scored it at half, at 5.5. And normally when I cut them this way, then I like them to sit that way. But I'm going to tell you a secret. The reason why this card is in this direction versus this direction, which I normally would do, is because I got a big green smudge right under here. So I wanted to hide it. And so that's what we do, right? So I'm going to hide this smudge. I told you it didn't matter. So I'm going to hide it. And then there's different ways of hiding it. So I can hide it just with my label, or I decided to use the ribbon. And so this is definitely like a fall ribbon. And so I just kind of played with it a little bit. Normally I wouldn't have chosen this ribbon with these bright colors, but I actually think it balances out with the sparkle and stuff. So this ribbon, it will be available next week. It is currently back ordered. It should be available, I think, on October 23rd, but it's kind of fun. It has this really fun copper, obviously shiny sparkle, or shiny, not really sparkle. And then this really beautiful, it feels really nice. This like linen. So it comes as a combo pack. So let me show you how I did that. Yeah, not me with smudges. That's right. I have no problem admitting, look at, no problem admitting. But then also showing you how sometimes you can fix it or hide it, and sometimes you can't. All right, so I just glued that straight on. And then what I did, I actually did not bring my ribbon scissors, so we'll see how these do, but it should be all right because we're actually gonna rough it up. Cutting this on an angle, and then I'm actually gonna rough it up. Just give a little texture. That might be a little too rough. Cut some of those out. All right. So I'm just gonna go here, And I kind of liked how I have, this is where that rough part is. I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna wrap it around. And I actually really do like it when you can see the ribbon wrapped around on the inside. I think it just gives it something else to look at. And I'm just gonna make it a little bit longer. So this will go, I want to shift it up a little bit. This will go like around here, kind of like a belt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, normally I would use even glue, but that takes a few minutes to dry. So there's a few things I can do to secure it down. I can use a tape runner, or I can use tear and tape. So I'm just going to use tear and tape. I don't use my tape runner that much. This one with the dark blue is the Seal Plus. This one I like because it works. You just run it and it comes up. The one that's like more aqua, just the plain seal, I've seen way too many problems with it, so I don't really advertise getting it. I advertise getting the glue. All right, so that's stuck there, and then this is actually going to stick right on there too. Okay, so it's on there like a belt. And then, just reading the comments. I'm glad you like my honesty, Mary Lou. Yeah, I don't know. It's just how I am. I don't think it's right to tell you to get something that doesn't work or give you. I don't want you having frustration. I know too many people with this stuff that kind of spooled up and was problematic and stuff. All right, there's too many good things to use that not to bother being frustrated. All right, so I'm just going to loop that over like that. Find my scissors and cut it on an angle. I'm going to cut this one on an angle also. All right. And actually, set that aside for a second. Let me get a scrap piece of paper because I need to stamp my greeting, which is here. So I decided happiest of birthdays. And so I'm going to use Poppy Parade, and I did it in Daffodil Delight because that's the yellow I used, but it was a little light, so I happen to have the crushed curry, which is a little bit darker yellow, so I did that, but you can do either. And you guys have seen me do this before. I'm looking for my brush tip or the thicker line versus the thin line in the thinner one. And I'm going to just color, I think that's in the camera, yeah. Color directly on my stamp. I love this technique. You could use, just don't use any permanent marker, like Sharpies don't work, the blends don't work. Crayola marker works. You just need a water-based marker for this to work. And obviously the Stampin' Rights work beautifully and they match. All right, and then I'm going to give a little blow on it or huff on it just to let my breath moisten the ink. And like that, it just brightens it up since there's so many colors in my leaves. And then I have a rectangle. I think this is from the All's That die set, but you can use whatever shape. And I would cut that out, but I already have one cut. I have that one. All right, so that, and I like how this is a little bit wider than my ribbon. It's really wide ribbon, so normally I would probably do a smaller rectangle around that, but I wanted this to be wider than the ribbon. And then I'm going to use, I've discovered I really like using these foam strips. And so I'm just going to cut them because they're already skinny. And put them right on either side. I know they're kind of designed for shaker cards, but you can use them for anything. All right, before I put this on, I have to put my ribbon on. So I'm going to, actually I'm going to put a little tear and tape down too, just to have it secured out there. So I'm going to stick the tear and tape right on the linen. It's going to be covered up. I actually did try using this on that, didn't work. And you can use Scotch tape. I just didn't bring that up here. I'm going to read your comments in a second. I'm glad to see that you guys are writing stuff. It's a little bit more conversational that way. Well, especially while I'm like doing something that takes a few minutes. You guys can have a little chat. All right, so I'm going to offset the two ends, loop it, kind of put it down so that both sides stick like that. And then this is going to go right on top. It's just a little shine. I just think this is such a fall color. And then to tie it all together, so I have these oh, actually, I did the inside the same way. Why are we on time? Yeah, you guys saw how I did that. So I just did a stencil. Actually, I'll do I have a piece of paper? Hold on. If I have the right size, I should. I'll do it real quick and then I'll show you my gems. Yeah, okay. Anyone who got on late, I'll show you real quick. I have my stencil. I'm going to put that right on there. Find my ink. Find my blender brush. Wait to see. It's like super fast. I could do just one color, but I'm going to add a little green in there. Green around the edges. Maybe. Oops. That moved. I'm going to add a little bit of the red or the poppy. Just a little bit on the inside. Okay. Like that. So there's my inside, but we will do the veining. I guess I didn't have to clean it. All right. So if anyone came late, this is what I'm doing. I have my leaf. These are the two leaves I use, the Aspen leaves, a big and a small, and they have that veining on there, which is texturized, which when you cut out a piece of paper, it's going to imprint it. But I'm going to use a magnet like that, which I actually made a long time ago. When I did craft shows, I used to sell all those magnets. All the little girls, young girls, like to buy them. So you need a foam pad. I'm going to push that in there. Line up my stem. Push it down. There we go. So there's the imprint of my leaf. So now we can put that on the inside. I'm glad you like it. I thought it was pretty. All right, so we need this one. Okay, it's all messy on the back side, but that doesn't matter. All right. You could probably do this with certain snowflake dies. I actually did not get any snowflake dies from this year. I have older snowflakes, but you could check to see. Certainly you could do the stencil. I don't know about the imprint. All right, so that's my inside. Definitely dresses it up. And then I think really having the ribbon dresses it up. So we just need a little gems. So I'm going to show you something. So these would work. These are the new in color enamel dots, but they're back ordered. So I'm going to show you an alternate. But this is the Copper Canyon, which matches pretty closely to that ribbon. So I could certainly put those on there. The yellow ones would work too. Even the Pebbled Path ones would work. But if you don't have them, but you have regular good old diamonds, I took my Cajun Craze Blends marker. And you can do this with blends markers. Sharpies would work. This one you want alcohol-based markers or permanent marker. And if you just color, I'll do it over here, your gems, you can make any color gem you want to match your card. So now I'm going to take my Oops. I'm just going to copy what I did. Put one here. Put one here. Put one here. You could put them all over, and I could certainly cover up my little mistakes. But I think this just ties into the ribbon so nicely. I think it works really nice. So if you needed Christmas colors, just use your blends markers to color over your gems. You can color over the pearls. Even if you have something that's a color that's not quite right, color over it. Just use up what, use up your stash. All right, so here we go. Where's my other one that was a little artsy? Here it is. There we go. All right, so let me check over see what you guys were chatting about. Uh-oh, why is this not moving? Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, so I told you they were from the Aspen dies. You guys like the little tricks. Excellent. Actually, let me put me on here so you don't have to. Let me move this out of the way. All right. Nancy likes all things leafy. Yes. Deborah says, never thought about the magnet for the die. Yeah, me neither. I thought that was brilliant. Mary Lou says, so many tips today. I need to get out a notebook and watch again. That's what's great about the replay. You can watch it whenever you like. And Kim likes them. All right. Yeah, I thought they were looking at them like you could see them. Here we go. That's better. I thought they were really pretty too. And so obviously you can do any colors that you want, but I did kind of look them up, and that's kind of what I thought the Aspen leaves would look like. Another yellow background or gold background would look really pretty. So play with your colors, play with your dies, see what you have. Or if you want these ones, the Aspen dies are in the annual catalog, and those other maple ones I showed you are in the holiday catalog. All right, so free shipping till tomorrow. Orders over $75. And let me just put that back. If you want to use this host code, feel free. If it's under $150, if your order happens to be over $150, don't use the host code because you can use the host benefits for yourself. But also is the joining offer, the 35% off the starter kit or the 35% more products in the starter kit. And that was in my email this morning. And that is also on my blog. So if you miss any of that information, that is there. All right. And is that all I had? Free shipping, host code. Yeah. That's what's going on in October. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. I love how you comment, invite some friends, have a little conversation, and, kind of stamp together, share, all that kind of stuff. It's helpful. It's helpful to me to kind of be a little bit more engaging and to know what you guys want. So thank you very much. Week 2 of 12 Weeks of Christmas is going out tomorrow, crazy enough. And I think that's all that's happening, which is kind of a lot. So happy fall, enjoy your autumn leaves, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.